All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Harchak that belongs to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone who teach, guide, and rule well. And greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopeful elect, Shalom unto you. Your brother Shaquat with video here, and I want to correlate this movie here, Book of Clarence, to something. Okay, and let me grab that something. All right, and so this is from on the elect, and this was an excerpt or taken out of a podcast or interview, if you will, with Alazar Bonloya of the Sicarri, which he is the the head of Sicarri, the chief priest of Sicarri, or whatever the case of his title may be. And he was on a hood nigga, podcast. This is no jumper. It appears to be from the bottom corner. And basically, I'm gonna play the video, and the title of the video is you cannot, right? You can't rep a gang and Yahweh Shai, Guerrilla Hebrew. Okay? All right. So without further ado, I'll play it, and then Guerrilla Hebrew at it again, and then you'll see for yourself. Then I'll tie it into the Book of Clarence, okay? The movie.
Get back to this, right? Where you said you represent Hoover?
Yeah.
All right, so you represent Hoover?
Yeah.
So you represent Hoover?
Yeah.
All right, so that's where it's the cross at, because you got to understand that it's people that no matter what you feel me speaking on, if you represent that it's motherfuckers that hate you and they'll do something to you
For sure.
behind that. You
For
feel
sure.
me? So it.
And if you notice, Jake with the orange hat on, he's just relaying the street angle of it to you. Okay, and now I don't want to take this completely out of context, because you can cut any little excerpt out of it and make it angle it into one certain something. Now he agreed that he still represents the old man he was, okay, and not the new man he's supposed to be, the priest or Levite, Levitical, whatever his title is, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, those that are leading hood niggas or whoever your congregation or your angle is for in this truth, lead them toward the kingdom of heaven, so to speak. But let him. I believe this video has at least enough of what he said, because he tried to clean it up or give his perspective on what he believes he's doing as the right thing. So I'm not gonna even condemn him on that. I'm gonna just let him hear it, and it still applies.
Like how see, if you out of town a lot, it's a little different.
For sure.
But if you right here and then your face is like that, how do you maneuver? You know what I'm saying? And you know.
Let me see.
Don't hear me, then that message wasn't for them. So you know what I'm saying? I just was asking you, how do you separate? Because basically you saying I represent this over here, which you knowing is demonic, but then you represent this over here, but you still, you know what I'm saying? You're not letting part of that go. I was just asking, but you answered it though, like this is how I identify. This is where I'm still right here, but I don't represent none of that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the actions that's involved with over there.
Exactly.
I respect that, bro.
It's
all right, hey, shalom.
All right, and that's the brother there from the page. All right, but the point I was looking at or looking for, I'm not sure if I can grab it. Yeah, because in all fairness, let me take a moment to dig a little deeper to see if I can get what he says after that. He says something to the effect of, because somebody got to be the light to them over there. Okay, and I don't want to misquote or so Lord willing I can find it where I don't have to, you don't have to take my word for it. But so I want to add that, because that is what he said, regardless of an opinion outside of that of what we may think he just try to clean it up or whatever. But he did say that. So, but just trying to um, make sure that we understand the angle he's coming from and why and where it's going to lead to. So let me see if I can grab it. So here it is. Here I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna try to get. It's a nice another little chunk, and I don't want to put things in anyone's mouth, or I just want you to see it for yourself. And this is for you that are sincere, man. The point we're getting to is you can't be both. Okay, you can't walk two lines, man. Okay, because these two lines, the line of the truth and the line of the world, the line of the spirit and the line of the flesh, those two don't walk the same way. Even though they look like they may cross at a certain point, if you're taking each step in each direction, you're never gonna. These lines are gonna continue at some point. They may look like they're walking next to each other right now, but at some other point, they're gonna cross and they're gonna how's it go? Matthew 13. Basically, it's gonna choke out the word in you, okay? Or you'll be uprooted. Lord, when did I get to that in Matthew 13? But let me get his quotes here.
Let me ask something. So when you go to the feds, right, in the state, it ain't no choice, like, you feel me? And it ain't no choice for a nigga from California, but it's a choice right here religiously. When you go to the feds, you get to pick like what card you gonna roll with, right? So as far as from us, like, it might be a nigga from Tennessee, he might be a Crip, but he might come in and be like,
I'm with Tennessee.
With the Tennessee niggas, you feel me? So on a religious standpoint, a Muslim, like, I'm a Muslim, you feel me? But you gotta make the choice, I guess, is you gonna roll with Islam or you rolling with the Crips, you feel me? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask you, if you went to the pen, what card would you pick?
Yeah, I don't even know about a real Israelite card, really existing. You know what I'm saying?
The Israelites, they with the Muslim, they got the Israelites, the Moles, the Moorish Science.
Okay.
You feel me?
All in one
Christians
card?
No, I'm not saying all in one card.
No, they got their own card.
The Christians got
I know about the Christian card. Yeah, for sure.
So you don't even know. So you going with who? You going with the low?
Yeah. You know why though? Because somebody got to be that light over there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be the light.
And that's what you saying. So
Let me ask you.
All right. So you heard it from his own mouth right there. Okay. Because somebody got to be the light over there. Well, God forbid, I go to the feds or whatever and all of that I have to lean on any card or whatever. The card I'm rolling with is for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I don't want to connect with anybody. I know what they say about prison gangs and all of that, but I'm not concerned about what comes with being of the flesh. Okay, Lord willing, the wisdom of this perspective doesn't put me in a position to have to go to prison for anything. Now we know the scriptures say some of ye shall be cast into prison. Matter of fact, let me get that because it's important the instruction we were given in these scriptures. Okay, particularly John the Revelator warned us, and even Yahushua warned us about the times that we would be brought before councils and brought captive, and brothers would turn on you and turn you in to be brought up before kings and so on, and governors and so on and so forth, right? So we know we're going to be apprehended, to some point, to some degree, all right? But I don't want to play no other card but the silent card. Well, my mouth will cleave, and then when the Spirit is on us, let me get it. When the Spirit is on us to speak, that I may speak as the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So let me grab it. Matthew 10 verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, and for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Okay, so if I gotta have a testimony against the wicked way of gang culture or black culture or Moorish culture or whatever the case may be, I'm not taking those other cards. I'm taking the card of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I don't want anybody to be confused I don't want Yahweh Shemi Shai to be confused about who I work for, which is the King of the universe and His only begotten Son, and what I represent. Now, if men of the flesh take offense to that and harm me, or whatever, hey, that's what the case may be. I'm not concerned about my flesh, especially when I'm taken up for what did it say, for the testimony of Yahweh Shemi Shai. Okay? And it says, verse 19, but when they deliver you up, take no thought for what ye shall speak. Like, I'm not going to be just quick to have conversation, but when the Spirit is on me, which rehearsing the righteous acts and living in the Spirit now, you know when it's time to speak and when it's time to be quiet. But you have to first be quiet and hear the Spirit speaking through you. Don't be hasty to utter things before the Lord. Okay? And the Spirit will give it. Well, you want that to be open by having your mind locked into these scriptures. Okay? Pushing this. That's why we here at Great Millstone in the affiliate doctrines, we push the rehearsal of constantly putting out videos, reading, praying, push out videos. So we know when these scenarios come to pass that these are where the answers are. Okay? It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour that ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Now, I don't need OG such and such from Hoover to speak through me, the codes and conducts of the hood or of the gang or whatever, of that card. That's not how, my card is standing on Yahweh Shemi Shai. Okay? So that matter of fact, 2 Ezra 16 and 67, behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, rehearse the righteous acts of the law as well. Through the Spirit, understanding the bigger picture, sometimes it's not like, should I not? When you look at the whole scenario, it's like, oh, that just don't seem like it's going anywhere good in the long run. And just stay away from it instead of, well, I'll just do a little bit, then I'll stop at this point. Just through the Spirit, you'll see just to stop and never move in that direction in the first place. But anyway, it says, leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. Okay, so I don't want to meddle with the things of the flesh that can cause an occasion to sin. Okay? And not to say that we're out, but so I can just minimize what I've done. And my iniquities, which are those sin upon sin, those continual sins that lead one to another, that I'm not caught up in that. I'm trying to always find the next moment to consciously not be within those actions. Okay, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shai, through His only begotten Son, it says, lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. So I'm not concerned about what they'll do in the prisons. I better take one of these cards, this other hood card, to make sure that I'm protected by these guys. And man, I'm Yahweh Shemi Shai is who I'm concerned with being protected by. And that's the message that should have been, in my opinion at least, that should have been pushed on that podcast. But I do also understand everybody has their lot and a role to fulfill. Okay, that's why these messages go really as of exhortation and correction go out really to you believers. It's not about us trying to correct Elazar Ben Loya anymore, or any of the Sicarri. It's really to show you sincere men that may be amongst the Sicarri, or that's in other beliefs and doctrines, or even in Great Millstone that believe, showing you that this is where we stand on this. Okay, this is where the scriptures stand on. Okay, showing you that ain't the right way to be double-minded like that. Okay, to serve two masters like that, right? Because you think you're not gonna have to hold to a certain codes and conducts and beliefs of that Hoover, and yeah, you can be the light over there, bro, if they give that to you. But when the persecution come, are they gonna want to still roll with that also? Okay. It says, for behold, the burning wrath. That's not what I want. Let me jump down to get to a point showing they're still coming after us, but I'll jump to 73. Then shall they be known, who are my chosen, and shall be tried as gold in the fire. Yeah, and part of the trial is saying, no, I'm sticking with 100% Yahweh Shemi Al, not half hood, half holy, or whatever else, man. Okay? 100% Yahweh Shemi Al, Lord willing, of course. Right? Hear ye, O my beloved, said the Lord, the days of trouble are at hand. So we know we're going to go through some things, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. Yeah, I ain't got to be afraid of what's going on in there. And I don't. And I know I'm not built to go to prison. So sending me to prison, hey, that's what a trial, what an opportunity. Okay, and I would pray, that opportunity will be something of refinement for me to get closer and better in Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. Okay, and not look like I'm kind of with you, Lord. Nah, like I'm all the way with you, and whatever you pull me through, I'm gonna try to suffer it like Job. All right, like I said, Lord willing. For the day, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Shemi Al Shai is your guide. Now, if he were a guide to be like, well, it's okay, you could be with Hoover this week, and then next week you'll come to me when the heat is off. That don't even sound like what the Spirit says. When the three holy children were in the fiery furnace, they didn't hesitate to be 100% on Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. Okay, so that's the perspective. Now, where this ties in is this is what you have to do. I'm gonna skip that Matthew 13, but I can't skip it. I can't. I glanced at it. I can't skip it. Okay, so in Matthew 13, it says I'll go straight to this in verse 9. It said, Matthew 13 verse 9, who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And that's the difference. If I'm standing on business with Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, not with the prison system, because our Lord Yahweh Shai, our Messiah, he overcame the world. I mean, he overcame all of this, man. Prisons and sin and being talked against by his own people, being tortured and beaten, and even killed by by Romans, and his own people backed it and pushed it. Okay, gotta be careful with that. Anyway, it says verse 9 again says, who hath ears? So I'm not gonna stand on this worldly card. I'm gonna stand on Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, and those that come or may gravitate and see, whether it be the example of persecution or whatever purpose I'm set up for to go through that they may believe, that through whatever my situation is, may push their faith to believe further. Okay, so that they may be saved. Okay, like the men on the top of Mount oh my gosh, on the Isle of Patmos, Salakia. Anyway, it says, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is not given unto you to know, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Yeah, there's too many people that will be in the midst. Now is one thing, but when all hell breaks loose, people are trying to look for anything to gravitate and float around with. Yeah, there's going to be all types of unbelievers mingled in that's just going to show up, and they're going to believe for a minute, and that's why this scriptures come to pass. Okay, that's why I had to read it, right? For whatsoever hath, to him it is given, and he that shall have more abundance. But whoever hath not, and from him shall it be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing, hear not, neither do they understand. And why? Let me grab it. Yeah, this man, scriptures are amazing, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 1, but the point is in 3 and 4, right? And because we know the lifestyle of that prison gang mentality. Okay, it says 1 and 1. It says, love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth, and that's what we're fighting to be. And that's us that's are discerning the things that's going on. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. Not, yeah, let me get all extra deep and try to bring everybody to me and heaps disciples around me. Okay, this is where the book of Clarence situation is starting to come into play. Because are you doing it for the sincere reasons of your belief? Or are you doing it to be seen of men? Are you doing it to have an angle for men to gravitate to you, for believers to gravitate, or for people to gravitate to you? Because the sincere believers it'll be enough just hearing the word and watching your example as you move, believing in faith and in works of how you move. Okay? It says, for he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showed himself unto such as do not distrust him. Right? Verse 3. For froward thoughts separate from Yahweh. And we know that they're froward thinkers, man, in that prison and gang culture. Okay? I don't have to be the tough guy. I'm not the tough guy, so I don't have to become the tough guy if I go to prison. I don't have to be something else. The tough guy part that a lot of you simpletons don't get, because men didn't groom you to be men and stand on what you believe in 100% without trying to appease or soften. Now, you should consider how you're delivering a message, absolutely, how it may relay, so people don't take what you represent, meaning don't take your how about Shemi Al-Shai as something else, something worldly like the rest of Christianity and different religions, so they can see it's something separate that you believe in, and it's a higher power, and your example should be that unto them. Not, yeah, I'm Hoover and I look and dress like Mr. Hoover, so on and so forth. But in the same token, I want to kind of slip in some of these words of wisdom in rehearsing the righteous acts of the scriptures. No, I'm standing on this with the scriptures, man. And if whoever wants to be a part of that, I'm here to break it down to you. If not, hey, continue to watch the example, clown, do whatever you want to do. That's what they did to our Lord when he was on the cross. When they said, let our children be, let his blood be upon us and our children. Okay. I know that was rough, but yeah. Okay. Well, you think they gonna have the discipline if they're in a gang and they're in prison for whatever reason they got there falsely, whatever? You think that mentality is gonna help them to just be extra reasonable all of a sudden? You think they're not there for malicious things? Okay, for froward thoughts? Okay? And it says, for froward thoughts separate from Yahweh, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. Okay, that's what's supposed to be happening. And that's cool if that's what you're there for. But you got to know who you're talking to, because some men is cool today, but when the heat pop up, they don't want to be down like that, man. They'll turn you in. Okay, that's what the letters Paul was writing, and Yahweh Shai spoke when I was reading Matthew 10. And watch when I go back to Matthew 13. And I have other precepts I'm going to get to, but I think this is a solid deviation. Lord willing, I'm not all over the place, and this, it can be followed, but I'm trying to get back to tying it into this book of Clarence, because you're doing things to be seen of men and to fill your own belly at the end of the day. That's why you take these stances. But like I was reading, it says, for into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. And a lot of them guys don't know the difference. Now, you could be the one that changes them over, but how much are they willing to have discipline and change what they know and what they've been raised and what the way that they've been, and that they're into that system and they understand the power of the flesh of that system? How much are they going to want to let that power of the flesh go to walk in the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai? And then that process is not going to be a smooth transition process to get someone's mind like that, which I'm not against teaching anyone, that if the spirit is on them, they're going to desire the discipline to do these things, to show their love. And we know how that goes in the 6th chapter of Wisdom of Solomon. Okay. So let me go back to Matthew 13. Okay. So this is Matthew 13. It started at 18. And he goes into the parable just after this, right? Of the sower, right? It says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When any one heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one. And that will be someone that comes in the midst to break up the understanding that you're that those seeking the kingdom of heaven, you know, that is something kind of moving somebody toward the belief of this thing, that there's going to be a wicked one that comes around, and that wicked one don't have to be an Edomite. It could be a Jake. It could be anyone. It could be anything. It could be money. It could be business or whatever the case may be. Okay, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. So as you were trying to sow this seed and bury it and let it begin to start the foundation, you know, and take root in you and all of that, they're going to come to try to see and try that seed, man, see if it can be uprooted. All right. This is he that receiveth seed by the wayside. But he that receiveth seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receive it, yet he hath not root in himself. Okay? And they didn't quite get the root of this is what I'm standing on. I'm not standing on two things. I'm standing specifically on Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua only. And I'm to a point that the other people around that watch me, they went, who card is he under? It don't matter. He on his own thing. He a Hebrew Israelite. Okay? And even amongst us, of course, if the conversation comes about, if the cards are set up like that, and the conversation comes about, I got no problem breaking it down. What I believe and know, according to the scripture. Okay? Lord willing, it be written in me that I can, you know, the Spirit be with me to prove these things, you know? But anyway, it says, the same is he that heareth the word and with anon and anon with joy receiveth it, yet he hath not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. Okay, and that's the thing that you got to be concerned with, guys. With that mentality, you know, how long are they really going to endure when the real persecution comes down? And it is coming. Okay, when they persecute the prophets, I've already hit a little bit of it in that second Esdras, the 16th chapter, as well as Matthew the 10th chapter. Okay, so we know this is going to be happening in the end times. Okay, it says, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word and care of this world, and this is when you're double-minded. You have too much care for this world. Okay, that the truth is either equal, or you got to make a decision between it. The decision is made. The truth comes first. Okay. I have to tell friends of mine in the world, like, hey, man, I'm sorry, but this comes first. I'm this first now. Whatever you want to be about, we can do that and talk about whatever, as long as it don't interfere with this. Everything I am now, I can't turn it off. Everything I am now is filtered through this word. My actions, if it don't seem wise, I ain't doing it. There were things in the world that I used to do that wasn't wise. Okay, well, those things I'm trying to cut out, or have been removed from the real detrimental things altogether. Even the people that bring on those things, sometimes they are meant to be separated as well. All right. It says, but let me see here. Yep. He also receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Yeah, so when you, not to say you don't try to make a living for yourself, but I am saying you're not trying to make it the biggest priority. You shouldn't be trying to build yourself up with the word of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua as an internet influencer type figure. Okay, because that's kind of what we are for those that watch. It falls under the same category. YouTube don't know the difference. But when you begin in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, when you stand on representing him, but then you also want to represent yourself and represent Hoover, or hey, he ain't with that, man. Because now it looks like you're represent like those all roll together. Okay, and that's not the message. And we know Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua ain't standing with Hoover. Okay, or any other street gang or prison gang or whatever the case may be. He don't give a damn about them cards. And it ain't like the men of the Lord ain't ever went to prison. Okay, but when the accounts we read, though they are abridged, the accounts we read, yeah, It don't give all the details, but it shows you they stood on business with Yahweh Shem Shai when they were cast into prison. Okay? And that's the example set for us of today, right? And choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Yeah, so when certain situations happen according to your flesh in the world, them people that are connected to you, they gonna stay, even though they don't have the same spiritual mind you may have, trying to bring them light. Okay? When the attention ain't the same, and when the doctrine is about correction and not about uplifting and exhorting as much, when that becomes a part of the situation, okay, are they gonna stand in? All right. When the world turns on the Hebrew Israelites, they gonna stand in. Okay. So let me get back into this book of Clarence, and then I'll hit the lesson. All right. So coming back to this book of Clarence, the 2023 movie, it's an adventure comedy, right? We all should know who's in it, and I'm not here to promote that, but I'm not here to make money off of this. But when you watch the movie, you can see how Jake was moving. It came out in January, right? You can see how Jake was moving. Now, you come down to the synopsis of it. It says, a down on his luck man struggles to find a better life for his family while fighting to free himself of debt. Okay? That's any Jake in the world. No big deal. Captivated by the power and glory of the rising Messiah that's coming into this truth. He's seeing that. He risked everything to carve his own path to a divine life. So he picked up elements of the truth and used it for worldly benefits. Okay? Ultimately discovering that the redemptive power of belief may be his only way out. And see, that's the difference. That's why you gotta, when you watch the movie, it wasn't that bad a movie. I actually enjoyed it. But they showed niggas doing nigga shit, man. They showed the whole false prophet angle. This dude was trying to make money off of miracles, and they had scams and schemes, and trying to make money. And his rise out of debt and into financial freedom, so to speak, was through the word, which we see that's what you did, bro. Selling T-shirts and to people that aren't being edified and fed with the word and the reverence of Yahweh Shem Shai to a high enough level, okay, to where they know the separation of the two, okay, because and if that is what's going on over there, from the outside it don't look like that, bro. It looks like you got like your doctrines mixed, and then statements like you've made. I'm gonna stand on the Hoover card, and trying to get the brownie points from the men in the room. Okay, when it don't need that, the truth don't need nothing else, man. The truth was supposed to be there, and the guy understood that. He was like, man, if you stand on a religious tip, you need to stand on that, on just that, not something that we all know that's involved in this wicked ass gang banging and prison system deal, or standing on. You need to stand on something better than that. Okay? And the only reason an Israelite should be going, to prison is for his beliefs in Yahweh Shem Shai, not for what he's done or doing in the world. Okay? With his own personal life. Okay? You should have your personal life taken care of, to the effect that the only thing they got on you to send you to prison and the jail or whatever the case may be is what you believe in. Okay, and you standing on that, which is believing in the 100% doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, and it's written in the scriptures, precept upon precept, line upon line, so on and so forth. Right. So you can't make your life better by picking up this word and then trying to sell it back to the people. Okay, which was in the movie. The scriptures tell you that when you come, you got it freely. Now give it freely. This information came to you for free. You didn't have to buy it, so you go ahead and give it out. Okay, you buy it with your time and your self-sacrifice of your own glory, your personal glory. You sell that because we were already bought with a price by even being given this word. All right, so let me hit some of these precepts. Straight to the point. I'm going to just try to hit them quick. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. And Mammon is like the god of money. But you got to know, and we see what they do with money over there, okay? And how money, we need new cameras, and we just lost grands on stacks on racks on stacks, you know? We need y'all to go fund us more to get it back together, though we're recording on something now. Whatever. The point being, there's better perception you can put out there. Okay? And if you stay with your eyes single, then you don't have to worry about and I believe that's in this chapter, but if you keep your eyes single, you don't have to worry about serving two masters. You know the one direction and the one master that you serve, which should be Yahweh Bashim Yahushai only. All right. 1 Corinthians 6, and I lost the order, but I'm going to just go through them and tie it in through the Spirit. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 15, and I'll read down. Know ye not that your bodies are members of Hamashiach, the anointed? Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them members of an harlot? And that harlot is another philosophy, man. That prison card philosophy. I'm going to stand on Hoover. I'm going to stand on the BGF. I'm going to stand on whatever. You know, MS, whatever gang you Jakes, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, whatever gangs you connect with and rep in the world, whether it be in prison or whatever, that ain't to be mingled with this. If you've been given the understanding of this, to see this as a way of salvation. Okay, it ain't for you to stand on both. Okay, it ain't for you to try to make money off of like Clarence. Once you see the power of it, oh, I got answers, and I'm gonna lead you to this and that. That's why Yahweh Shai in Matthew 24 was talking about there should come false anointing, saying I am the saying I am the anointed. Okay, and shall deceive many, saying that they got the way to the Messiah, which will lead us to the way, you know, and he got his proper spirit, and they're gonna lead you towards salvation. Well, they be off. If you serving two masters, or you're joined unto the members of an harlot or false philosophy, hey man, okay, that ain't the right way. All right, it says what? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? So them two masters are now in one body. Okay, you are one person with them two conflicting ideas, and oil and water don't mix. Okay, for two saith he shall be one flesh, but he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. You shouldn't have the spirit of Hoover and the spirit of the prison cards and whatever else. You should just have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and wisdom on you, and only be calling on that. When anybody asks you who are you and what you up to, I'm a servant of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Who's that? Or what the fuck is that? That ain't such and such, cuz, but whatever. All right. Well, this is what I stand for. I stand on the belief of salvation to come, you know, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Not to take the MOTB, that Lord willing I may be rescued with the destruction of America by the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. 144, Lord willing. Right? It says, yet flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sitteth against his own body. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, and ye are not your own? Yeah, so you can't stand on your own business no more. You need to stand on the business of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That don't mean if it like oil and vinegar. Okay, if they do mix and make a good combination together, what you do with your life, and what you and because it don't take away or conflict the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, so if I make music and I make spiritual music, and I ain't talking about, you know, doing death metal or some crazy, you know, whatever, you know, but putting out good music, hey, that's something different, you know, and it should be separate. But if you or I'm an artist and I paint art and all of this, that's separate. I'm not putting my beliefs on the people of the art world, but I'm not conflicting the other two. Well, they're not conflicting ideas. Okay? It's not necessarily conflicting ideas. Okay? But when it comes down to it, one of them got to go. Which one is the one that got to go? Okay? It says, for ye are bought with a price, we are redeemed and bought back with a price, and that price is Yahweh's blood. Therefore, we're covered in his blood. We're supposed to represent him. Funny analogy from a Hoover Crip, right? We're covered in the blood of Yahweh, not in the blood of Pyru or the Crips of Hoover or any other gangs out there or whatever. Okay? Therefore, glorify Yahweh in your body and in your spirit, in your body and in your spirit. Both, which are Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's, okay, which is theirs, okay, which they own now, okay, and you have to do it willingly from you to give up those things. That's the sacrifice. All right. Romans 8 verse 5: for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And what I took and note with that Captain Tazariak and Whack 100 back and forth from Whack 100's perspective, which is a nigga perspective. I can easily see the random nigga, LA nigga, whoever nigga. I can see niggas thinking like that. Thinking like, yeah, when you come down, what you saying bringing heat on our mamas and grandmamas and whatever else. And so I'm against you because you bringing heat on my mama and grandmama. I see that. I see that easily being any prison gang culture perspective on turning on you is my point. When they turn on you, they ain't gonna want to be a part of it because the persecution is coming from Matthew the 13th. You know, that they may do it for a while and they gonna come and get you. Okay? Because you put yourself in that realm. Because now they're associated with you. Now they have to deal in that carnally way. The only way that system works. Okay? For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay? For it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are of the flesh cannot please Yahweh. So that half serving two masters, that other half holy, half hood, that half hood side can't please it. And I don't want to half-ass please the God of the universe and his only begotten Son who represents me, or whom I'm supposed to represent when they redeemed me with a price, with the Son's blood. Okay? It says, but ye are not of the flesh, but of the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh Hamashiach, he is none of his. So the other people, you should be already discerning who is and who ain't. But you know the organization itself, there's going to be some who ain't. There may be some who is. And you think they just going to allow you to assume power to guide them with the light of the Bible? When they've been running it the carnal, fleshly prison way, especially when there's restrictions that you got to keep. Now, we can't eat that spam no more. I know you like the spam sandwiches, you know what I'm saying, with the iron and all of that. We know you into that. But hey, and with the top ramen and so, are they going to be willing to cut off that shrimp top ramen flavor? Okay? And they're going to listen to you because of it? All right? You got to start thinking in a bigger dynamic. That don't mean you can't be cool with be at peace with all men. But should you be repping that same perspective as they rep while you're repping the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai, which you were bought with a price? Okay? It says, yep, and if Yahweh Shai be in you, the body is dead to sin, but the spirit of life because of righteousness. But the spirit is life because of righteousness. So they ain't gonna want to make them choices and cut off certain things of the flesh that may be considered sin. Spam, I'm telling you, that top ramen shrimp packet and that spam is tough in there, man. Them hostesses go hard in there. Okay, And when you dig into the ingredients of certain things that they do consume in prison, hey man, the ingredient content goes back to stuff that Jake shouldn't be eating. That ain't good for Jake's body. Okay, that can be a derivative of an abominable meat or whatever. Therefore, being a sin unto you. Okay, and a lot of Jake ain't gonna take away that comfort. Okay, because one thing we all know as Israelites, as God chosen people, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, one thing you know is this: that when you're in an uncomfortable situation, the first thing you're gonna seek out is comfort. And once you got some comfort, you don't want to continue to give those things away unless you have fear and reverence for Yahweh Shemi Shai. It says, but if the spirit of him that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead dwell in you, Heavenly Father Yahweh, right? He that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. And that's the example they should see. And that's the example of what you're actually selling unto the people to come unto you from Hoover. Not from within and they gravitate from within. No, let them leave Hoover and come over to a man that believes. That they don't stand on no regular old card in there. Okay? Let them see the power of how the Heavenly Father's working in you with his spirit. Okay? By his spirit which dwelleth in you. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh to be appeased of men and feel good in our flesh and be like, yeah, I respect that. I don't care if you respect what I do or not. I don't care if my family respects what I do or not that don't understand. It ain't on me. I told you, you don't get it, whatever, I'm moving on. If you get it and you see it, you respect it, cool. I don't respect if you just flop around just because you have kind of belief, but you have don't. I respect if you stand on if you gonna be cold, but just don't be lukewarm. Okay? If you ain't on fire for this thing, just don't be lukewarm. Be all the way to the other way, right? It says, not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit, Yahweh Shemi Shai, do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai, they are the sons of Yahweh. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. Okay? And that's who that's the card I call on to. All right? That's the card we should be calling on to. Right? Galatians 6, verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Okay? Thinking you got the power to do what the scriptures didn't say that it was our job to do. We didn't see that. Why do you think the parables were so heavy with Yahweh Shai when I read them back in Matthew 13th chapter? Because to them it is not given if they don't understand the analogies, okay, of the parables, and can learn, receive, and understand and apply them. Okay, he that have an ear to hear, let him hear. Right? It says, but let every man prove his work, what you truly believe in, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. Okay? I stand on Yahweh Shemi Shai, and that's something to rejoice about. Not that I stand with Hoover and then and Hoover accepts me on their card and whatever else, and I'm a G and I got status in there because I'm Israelite and who cares? Okay? For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Be not deceived. Yahweh Shemi Shai is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. And I clearly believe that Whack 100 angle is he really is. I think Jake, whether he does it or don't do it, I really have to know, because the servant is not greater than his master, that these Jakes are going to turn on their own people, man. The 2/3 is going to turn on the elect, man. For real. And the elect got to stand on it. And it's going to turn some of the hopeful elect into the 2/3, because they're going to fold when the heat of their own people come against them, with a fierce and forward countenance upon us. Okay? It says when that enemy comes in like a flood, they're going to be quick to point out, Yeah, that was then. They was on the corner. I remember his face. I walked by him every week. He'd be on this corner on this Saturday every week, right? Him, and then that other guy over there, and then this guy over here. Yep, that's where they be at. I seen them. Okay, when that time comes. All right, and we know that time has to come, right? It says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall reap corruption. To the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not, if we don't fold and give up, if we don't need another way out. In case this angle don't work, I still got the Hoover angle to be able to sustain myself. And maybe I can be a light unto them. I'm a light unto all that believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. I don't care if you Asian, white, black, whatever. I don't care what you look like. If your spirit is connected to this thing and gravitates to it, hey, and you are willing to give discipline in the way you move into this thing, it's for you. And I'm here to, Lord, if that's my lot, I'm here to give it to you. Okay? I don't have to have an angle of Hoover or whoever else. And I'm using this as an example, but it's the living example we got right now. Okay, and this goes for any other false belief or any other way of life that's not of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. All right? Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. We'll reap the benefits of the miracles and the power coming to us that will be well-deserving and earned, right? As we have, therefore, opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. Those that are really pushing, I'm going to be the greatest brother I can to you, Lord willing. Of all that I understand and all that I'm giving and moving in the spirit, may I be able to be that example. May I be able to be whatever, I need to be for the furthering of the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua in righteousness. Okay? And also I'm going to get this 1 Timothy, the 6th chapter. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to get in the KJV. And then I'm also get it in a couple other translations. I may even read the NLT. Then I'll close, Lord willing. All right. 1 Timothy 6:1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua and his doctrine be not blasphemed. Okay, in the NLT, all slaves should show full respect for their masters, so they will not bring shame on the name of Yahweh and his teachings. Okay, that's the key thing, that others may see the wonderful works of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, and Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua may be glorified through you. Okay, let's look at it in the translation comparison. I think the NKJV was pretty good. As many in KJV, right? Let as many bondservants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, so that the name of Yahweh and his doctrine may not be blasphemed. Let me see. Here we go. The RSV. Let all who are under the yoke of slavery regard, and we're under slavery, whether to Babylon the Great or unto Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. I'm a servant or a slave unto Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. I'd rather take on that than it of the world, because I know the benefits of being a servant or a slave unto Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. It reaps great reward, right, in the kingdom of heaven, or in salvation unto the kingdom of heaven, right? It said, regard their masters as worthy of all honor, so that the name of Yahweh and the teaching may not be defamed. So the teachings and the reputation of this truth may be made famous, of the works of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, that you can say, hey, this is the greatest thing on earth, and look, the scripture's saying it, and it's happening. Not because I said it, but because the word said it. Okay? And then current events is performing it. Okay? We're seeing it perform right before our eyes. All right? Let me go back. KJV 2. And they that have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren, but rather do them service, right? because they are faithful and beloved, partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. Okay? Yeah. Yep. I'm just reading the NLT, and then when I'll jump over to the KJV if it's good as well. It says, if the masters are believers, that is no excuse for being disrespectful. Those slaves should work all the harder because their efforts are helping other believers who are well loved. Teach these things, Timothy, and encourage everyone to obey them. Okay, that's what we should be teaching. Okay, everyone to obey that come to us and want the discipline of Yahweh Shema Shai, that want to be in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai and salvation. Hey, we're supposed to be showing them the way. Okay, how to live this thing in the belief of what the scriptures say, right? How to be an ambassador, if you will, unto others in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, right? It says some people may contradict our teaching, but these are the wholesome teachings of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. These teachings promote a godly life. Okay, I will read that one in KJV. If any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, okay, the truth of the teachings, even the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, right? He is proud, knowing nothing but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strifes, railings, evil surmisings. And this is giving us the blueprint on what people are going to do that don't believe, that ain't standing on taking the low and being a living sacrifice unto Yahweh Shema Shai, that others may see the power and glory of Yahweh Shema Shai on you, even in suffering. Right, verse 4, anyone who teaches something different is arrogant and lacks understanding. Such a person has the unhealthy desire to quibble over the meaning of words. This stirs up arguments ending in jealousy, division, slander, and evil suspicions. Yeah, because the blood of Yahweh blood. No, cuz you can't be talking about the blood of, I don't care if it is the blood of Yahweh Shai. We don't like that word around here. I know how gangsters used to be. I don't know if they like that now, but in the world, I knew Crips that was that petty. And Bloods that were that petty. They don't even want you to use words that start with the letter C or the letter B. Okay, I'll be cack instead of I'll be back. I'll be cack. Like, I mean, come on. These are the people that you expect to be reasonable when persecution is coming upon to take this on and believe all the way and endure unto the end, the persecutions unto the end. Okay? Verse 5 in the NLT, these people always cause trouble. Their minds are corrupt and they have turned their backs on the truth. To them, a show of godliness is just a way to become wealthy. Hence, coming back to the book of Clarence, using this truth to build your status up and to stand on it, and then when you get in certain forums, you want to be like, yeah, but I'm still standing on Hoover though. I'm still standing with this angle of the world. Okay. All right, you can't do both, bro. You got to choose one, because there ain't no belief, ain't enough belief to stand on both of these things. You need 100% in Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Yet true godliness with contentment is itself great gain. Being able to hold yourself righteous and not be adjoined unto certain vibrations and certain ideologies that those of the world take on. Right? After all, we brought nothing with us when we came into the world, and we can take nothing with us when we leave it to the grave, right? So if things of the flesh, you can't even take the flesh to the grave with you. Your spirit goes up to the Father who gave it, your flesh goes down to the earth, back to the dust wherefore it came, right? It says, so if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content. But people who long to be rich fall into temptation. This was the Clarence thing, to get out of that debt and to make a name for himself. He did it standing on the words of on the powers of Yahweh Shema Shai, Yahweh Shai, the equivalent in the movie. Okay. and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. Okay? And when you see the movie, you'll see how that plays out. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, and some people craving money have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. And how that ties in is that love of money could just be, I need the chip, man. I need to eat. Or let me go on over here, and I know this ain't this meat, man. I mean, I'm not. Even though they push the law super heavy over there at the Sicarri, because they're the Levitical priesthood over there, you know. So they stand on the law, on the old law of Moses, and not on the faith of Yahweh Shai. All right, but anyway, so, or even Abraham, as the brothers have put out there, right? That was promised before he was circumcised, right? But craving, what did it say again? Craving money, having wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. Okay? Because you're seeking the wrong things. All right? Is there more on this? Yeah, that was the point, though. Okay, so even in Clarence, you can't be mingling, trying to have, you know, be the Levitical priest of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but then you want to go and also wear the you know, rep Hoover, man, and rep the worldly things, you know, that contradict. That prison lifestyle contradicts, man. That gang lifestyle contradicts. That worldly, fleshly attitude contradicts. Okay? So take the example of this guy, man. And don't be like that. Don't be like any of these guys. Only be like the ones that's I mean, he poses good questions and cuts Alazar with that, you know, but at the same time, we got to know that when we stand up, it ain't about picking a side. The side is chosen, man. The only side that matters is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Anything else ain't lined up with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai 100%. Ain't of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so I ain't taking the side of Alazar Bonloya. I heard what you said. Great. If that's your lot, hey, great, bro. You know, Lord willing, we all see each other on the chariot, you know, and in the kingdom of heaven. You know, but if you repping two separate things, I'm just presenting what the scriptures say. If you got it because you want to be the light unto niggas culture and behavior, and you want to go through and have a headache of deciphering who's a believer and who's not, and who's real and who's a G, and if you want to go do all that, and that's your lot, man, enjoy that, man. Enjoy that. I want this, you know, I'm just here to edify the sincere believers, man. Those that are willing to separate themselves and then come onto this thing so that they may represent Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in a righteous and obedient and fearful way. So Lord willing, that was edifying. Give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rachakwadash. They belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and teaching, and greetings, salutations, blessings, and much love unto you, hopeful elect. Till the next one, shalom.